Plan Commission meeting. Could I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Dolly.
Here.
Kays.
Present.
Brink.
Here.
Oletsky.
Present.
Durgis Johnson.
Here.
And Hanson, Culhane, and Spire and Ford are absent. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is invitation for public comment participant submittal. If there's anything that's not on the agenda that someone from the audience wishes to talk about, we will have time later in the agenda. Just please let Brandy know that there's something you wish to discuss. Item 4 is the approval of the minutes from the June 9th meeting. Could I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 5 is the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved. Second, Oletsky.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion is approved. Item 6 on the agenda is our regular agenda. 6A is commission consideration of resolution 2022-30, the concept plan of Harmony Hill. Brandy, will you take over?
Yes, thank you, Jeff. So this is a revised concept plan of the Harmony Hill development that's going on south of the bypass and Highway 81 on the west there. I'll pull up the map. You'll see here. So 20th Avenue southeast, it's to the south, and then to the west of Highway 81 in that quarter section. So this is before the board, and actually the last time it was approved, which was October 7th, 2021, there were 2 conditions that needed to be redesigned prior to going forward with those phases. And that included this redesigning this street, which used to be a long cul-de-sac, which didn't meet engineering design standards. So you'll see that they have since redesigned that. And then also there was an alley, if you recall previously, behind these residential lots that we also asked to be redesigned so that there's just the one access on the public right-of-way on the street so that there's not additional maintenance that the city would have to perform. So that's really, nothing else has changed. That's just the reason that it's before you. The last time it was approved, we actually said that it could have been redesigned during the preliminary plan phases, but just thought we'd get it in front of you guys and have the concept plan approved in whole. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Thank you for that. So this, like you said, this is just the revision of the already approved design, and they've just addressed our previous concerns.
Yep.
Okay. Is there any questions any of the board members has to staff? And I will open the public hearing. If there is anyone from the public that wishes to comment on this, please feel free to step up to the mic and state your name for the record. I'm seeing none, and I'm not hearing any comments. I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion from the board.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve the revision of the concept plan. Is there any other further discussion? I'd just like to say I do appreciate you bringing it to us, showing us that the revisions have been made. So I do appreciate seeing that and having you point those out to us. But,
Yes, you bet.
but other than that, I will call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 6B is commission consideration of resolution 2022-31, an amendment of the zoning designation. Brandy, will you take over for that one?
Yes, thank you, Jeff. So this is a rezone petition for for a portion of Harmony Hill Third Edition. I've included the plat as an exhibit of where this zoning, what the lot lines will follow. If you recall, we just recently annexed another 35 acres into city limits, and that was approved at the previous city council meeting. So then this would be a re-subdivision of a small portion of that to go from the A1, which has kind of just been the placeholder district, and then to the R3 multifamily residential is the only thing that they're rezoning at this time. And then a plat and development agreement for the extension of Challenger Way will also be something that you guys will be seeing in the future. But just to get this rezone going forward, obviously as an ordinance amendment, that's why it's in front of you. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Thank you. And this rezone matches the concept plan. This is, it was planned to be R3 in this area?
Yes.
Thank you.
Just a quick question, Brandy. So when we bring in a piece of property of 35 acres, which is the minimum lot area for the ag zone, and then we rezone a portion of that to pick a district, what that ends up doing then is it makes the remainder of that 33 acres of ag zone not buildable until it is rezoned, correct?
Right. And then, I mean, there is also adjacent property that is zoned A1. So if it would get down to it where, I mean, it's really just being used as the placeholder.
More or less, it's a theoretical question. I just want to make sure I understood that's how you guys view that.
But yeah, it would have to be, it's just because it's adjacent to other A1 districts. Otherwise, we wouldn't want, because you can't predict what the future will be. So if we allow for somebody to reduce the 35 acres, I mean, then it makes it non-conforming. So we would look for that.
That's a way to take a deep look at this, Todd. Yeah, no, that's bringing up a good point. But yeah. Are there any other questions any of the board members have? I will open the public hearing. If there is anyone in the public to speak in favor or against this item, please feel free to approach the mic. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion and a second from the board.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 7 on the agenda is open public comment. Brandy, did we receive any?
Nope.
Item 8 is new business. Do you have any new business for us?
Yes, I was just, and we'll be sending out more public notice and public service announcements, anything to get the word out. But we are planning on working with FEMA on hosting a public open house for the map updates that we're going through right now. And so that will be on it's a Wednesday, July 19th. Nope, it's a Tuesday, July 19th. From 5:30 to 7, and we'll host that at the zoo. So they're planning on giving a little presentation about what the map update will mean, what they look like, and then there will be, FEMA staff and as well as like city staff to be able to answer any questions that anybody has. So they'll do a short presentation, and then we'll just be there for questions. So it's a casual event where we just want to encourage the public to attend, so you're aware of what these map updates will mean.
Do you know, or is the maps, is the flood zone increasing or decreasing, or is it too broad of a question? Is it?
So it's actually, it's increasing and decreasing in different locations.
Right.
And we have the link on our website of the most current map. That's the preliminary maps, and that's what we'd be looking at the public open house. And so that's for anyone interested in looking at it and, looking at the areas, property that they own and see if it's impacting them.
Are they going to be taking into consideration the people that have been getting lomas
Yeah.
between these two maps? So then that will be out of it completely.
Yep, and so that, they sent out a SOMA list, so they have some of the LOM Cs, which is the letter of map change, that have been automatically revalidated as long as their elevations are still out. But there are a handful of properties that have LOMAs currently that won't be automatically revalidated. So I'm compiling that list and sending those individual letters out to those property owners so that they can come and learn, what that means and then what to do. If it's a commercial property, there are options that you can wet flood proof and, vent and whatnot.
Will
But-
they have to reapply for a loma? Mm-hmm. Okay.
That is not what Okay, so I believe this is where. So this is the latest preliminary map. So how I got there, if you guys lost me, I'll do it again. So you go to watertownsd.us and then go to community development under departments, the department tab. And then we go to planning and zoning tab, and then it's the bottom link here. Click on that, brings you here, and then you go to the National Flood Hazard Layer viewer, and then that is what pulls up here. And then you just go Watertown, South Dakota, and
Could you just put any address in there and find out instead of just Watertown?
yeah, I mean, like if you want a specific
Yeah.
address, yeah, you can. And it'll zoom you right to it. And then, so it obviously, there's a lot of layers with this, so it takes a bit to load. But then you go over here to your layers. Yep, to your layers list. And then you can turn, what do we got going on here? They don't have the. Well, that's weird. Because this is
So
just
the
showing.
flood zone is the blue or the orange?
This is the existing firm. So it's this is a live document where they might be doing some modifications. So that's why I'm assuming all the layers aren't there, but just, yeah, they're like earlier today. So keep checking back with that link. They should be there because then you'll see there's all sorts of layers, and it kind of gets to be cumbersome to know what you're looking at. But initially, though, there's a yellow and purple. The yellow is showing an increase. The purple is showing a decrease. And then they have all sorts of different, they break it down of the 500-year and the 100-year. So it's really, it's handy, and it's nice for the public to be able and aware of looking at this and to know what's coming. But in particular, though, the properties that do have the LOMAs, I am going to send them individual letters about the public open house so that they can get as much information as possible.
This is so much nicer than the old maps.
Yeah.
Man, this is nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
So this is a national service as well through FEMA. So the ability to pull up this map is nationwide. You can, instead of just going through all those layers of the Watertown, South Dakota website to get to this link, you can also just Google FEMA NFHL, and it'll take you right to the FEMA site directly.
No, thank you for that new business, and I mean, there are a few people in the crowd. If there is anyone that has questions on that, I'll give you a chance to, if you want to. Seeing none, is there any other new business that we have?
I do have one item I'd like to bring up on the Plan Commission.
Go ahead.
And it's related to the discussion we had earlier in terms of the conditional use request for the indoor storage. Indoor storage is not a new concept. Many communities have these climate-controlled indoor storage units. It does seem like a gap that our current storage unit conditional use is really tailored for external, non-mixed use storage. And so, Brandy, I guess my request to the staff would be to look into that, not just in terms of parking, which I know you already noted earlier, but in terms of like how we define it, and then if there should be something treated differently in terms of mixed use application of indoor storage, either from a code enforcement standpoint or other restrictions. Other communities have these in place already. So are we doing anything different or do we have a gap in our coverage?
Sounds good.
I know you got a lot of stuff on your plate already, so I hate to add to it, but
No,
Nope.
yeah,
Yep, it's noted.
thank you.
thanks, Blake. Any other old business? Seeing none, I'll move on to executive session. Do we have any reason to go into that?
Nope.
All right, then I will adjourn us. We are adjourned.